The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel welcomes you to this edition of the Mayor's and Supervisors Weekly Update, brought to you by...
Each week, our community makes history. Each week, you make history. And each week, there's only one source to turn to for the first take on history. You know what that is? Subscribe to the Sentinel right now to discover the history being made in your own backyard.
The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. More than just your news, it's your history.
Hey, welcome everyone to this week's edition of the Mayors and Supervisors Update. I'm Chris Carosa, publisher of the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel, and each week we bring you the goings-on in the towns and villages we cover. We'll start off this week with Rick Milne, Mayor of Honeoye Falls, also Monroe County Legislator. Rick, tell us what's happening this week.
Well, I appreciate the opportunity, and just a couple of things real quick today, Chris. As I mentioned last week, on Monday, tomorrow, Monday evening, we have our village annual meeting, which begins at approximately 6:30 p.m. and that is April 3rd. And then also beginning at 6 p.m. is the village budget public hearing. So we want to make sure that people are reminded of that. We look forward to approving the budget and going through the annual meeting process. And I want to thank again, once again, I want to thank Stan Warboys for his 26 years of service to the village, and then also welcome in new village trustee Will Wagner to the group. Will be officially sworn in on Monday night, along with our other elected officials and appointees. The village and Monroe County DOT will be working with the HFL school district and specifically the Manor School to add a flashing light crosswalk on East Street at the main entrance to the Manor School. This is specifically for those families that walk their students, their children to school each and every day, and just for those who are walking that need a safe place to cross. We feel that it's good. You know, we don't have a time frame to get this completed yet. We're working with DOT on that, but we think this is going to be a real positive impact to our children's safety. And then lastly, I just wanted to mention again a big thank you to Nick and Gus, the owners of Critics. They have served our community for some 35 plus years with Critics Family Restaurant. And on Friday, this was their final day. We will certainly miss them. We thank them for their many years of service to the community and just providing a great place for people to go and eat. And we'll miss you guys. And but we also want to thank you for working with the village on the transition of your property. And you know, I know they have said multiple times that this was a great opportunity for them, and the timing was great for them to exit their business and move on to a nice retirement. So we wish them well. We thank them, and again, as I said, we're going to miss them. It's every community needs a good diner, and they've provided that service for a lot of years. So thank you to Nick and Gus, and again, Chris, thanks for the opportunity to be on quickly today.
Thanks, Rick. I think a lot of people share those sentiments. Mike, go ahead and tell us about what's going on in Lima and perhaps Livingston County too.
Hello, Chris. Thanks for having us again. I got word from the Livingston County Department of Health that we have a assessment of 2,000 landfills across New York State going on, and one of them is in Lima. This is being done by the DEC. They have put test wells in, and they're testing for PFAS contamination. I have the description and a map of the contamination and all of that stuff up on the Town of Lima website, lima-ny.org, for you to view at. Just look for the Supervisors post and you'll see it there. If you're on public water, they're not going to be testing your water at your home if you're in the circles. If you have a well that's in the circles, then they're only testing out to a quarter mile. So we'll see how that all goes. News from our representative in Washington, Claudia Tenney. If you are having passport issues, She's asking that you please call one of her offices if you need assistance. The Victor office is closest for us, 585-869-2060. Livingston County is actively recruiting for the Summer Youth Employment Program. This is where we actually employ kids for the summer at the highway department, at the various town halls, etc. There is always an opportunity for a Lima resident or two who fits that category to get some employment here with the town. If you're interested, please call the Office of Workforce Development at 585-243-7047. And that's all I got, Chris.
Okay, thanks, Mike. John, how about you? Town of Mendon, what's going on there?
Well, we're waiting for spring. We keep getting little dribs and drabs of it, but we're waiting for spring. We'll have a survey crew in and around the hamlet of Mendon over the next few weeks, and they will be surveying both sides of the road for the possible addition of sidewalks. They will be doing the Victor Mendon Road between where the sidewalk stops currently as you're headed east up to Mile Square Road. They'll be doing Mile Square Road from Taylor Road all the way to the linear trail on Mile Square Road. They'll be doing Taylor Road and the Mendon-Honeoye Road from where the sidewalk stops there all the way up to Taylor. So if you see a survey crew, they'll be taking a look at both sides of the roads so that we can hopefully get some further sidewalks throughout the hamlet and the town of Mendon. Also in this summer, we'll have the RG&E crew or their subsidiary will be out replacing street lights with LED lights throughout the town of Mendon. So we look forward to that. And I'm going to continue with my question, my top 10 question for most frequent asked questions in the town of Mendon. And that is, does anyone pay the taxes on a particular parcel or house or business when there is no one living there or the business is closed and that type of thing? And yes, the owner is required to pay taxes on that. And when the county and town taxes come into the town of Mendon, the town takes our portion first. So we are completely fully funded. Any of the other funding that comes in through taxes that goes to the county, we send to the county. And any shortfall is the county's responsibility to retrieve. So we at the town level are fully funded on our taxes. And as I mentioned, if there's an empty vacant home, like there were in the 2008 era of vacant homes or businesses that unfortunately are closed at this time, which we of course are constantly working to fill, the taxes still have to be paid by the owner. And that's all I've got for today. Thank you very much.
Okay, John, Mike, Rick, who's now gone. Thank you all for being here this week. And we will see you all next week. Remember, this airs every Sunday at 1 o'clock. And if you like our Facebook page or subscribe to our YouTube channel, you'll be reminded when this show is broadcast. That's all for now. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Imagine yourself communicating with a difference. Pan-Dimensional Solutions helps you do this. Whether live spectator events, taped broadcasts, or real-time audience-engaging programs, you can benefit immediately from the tools Pan-Dimensional Solutions will share with you. Do you want to make a difference? Contact us at pandimensional.com.